We are recapping 2 episodes tonight of Shades of Blue. Make sure you stay with us.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
This song,
My last time, great God Almighty.
man, and the lyrics like right on time, especially towards the
Definitely.
end.
Yes.
Man. Hey guys, I'm Lynneisha, and you guys can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Lynneisha_33. And thank you for joining us. Last week we were out, of course, it was Easter, so we kind of skipped. So we're gonna go over 2 episodes this week. And also I have with me.
Hello, everyone. I'm Taquiala Jackson. You can follow me on all social media at Taquiala_I am.
Yeah, so like I said, okay, 2 episodes. So let's like recap last week.
We can.
Some things that went on with that one.
Yes.
Let me get my paper situated here. Okay. So first I like that Waz, his wife, she kind of came back in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, she came back.
Even though it was more so because she was a little scared,
Yeah.
that let her know when Bianchi met her at the bookstore that some Waz was going in something deep.
Yeah.
And probably something like that has never has happened. She's always said, I know you've always kind of been in trouble and know it's always been lurking around.
Right.
But he scared her. He spooked her. So I was glad she kind of came home under his protection. And she said that's the only place she's ever really felt safe.
Felt safe. Yeah.
Yes.
So that was a good thing.
It is.
And I want to get into, I wonder if they're going to reveal this, like what is it with Bianchi and these weather terms? Because, you know, he mentioned something about the weather.
He did.
And then that's what kind of tipped Waz off, like, oh, that was Bianchi. Like, that's who you saw. And the time when Harlee saw the guy right outside of Nada's apartment,
house.
right,
Yeah.
at his house, and he said something about the weather. So I'm curious, like, what is his deal?
But I
with,
like
his code words.
It adds to the climax
It
and
does.
to the intensity of the show, though. I do like it now that you pointed out, though.
But I was like, what's the reason? I want to know
About
the
to
reason.
have a hurricane later,
right?
you know,
Like, what's going on
something.
here? So let's see what else happened last week. Oh, I like that Loman. He's irking my nerves. I'm definitely going to talk a lot about.
I'm so glad we're on the same page
oh
with that.
Gosh.
Oh my goodness!
Like,
do you want to go from last week where he tried to set Wise up, which astonished me because then Harlee tells everyone she's the rat. So I
Right.
was surprised she did that.
I was surprised with that.
Finally, I hope it lifted some of like the pressure off of her. But then you see the team starting to dismantle, which we'll get into episode 2 soon.
Yeah.
But the way he just kind of put it all out there, I was so annoyed with him.
So annoyed. But not only that, like he has this inkling, so he thinks that, you know, Harlee's lying about it though, because he said something, you know, along the lines to let her know, like, okay, well, if that's the story, so-called story, you know what I mean? So it's like he's still not really buying it, and he's still digging for something or some other information. He still feels like he's not really a part of this, like he's innocent, and like Tofu said, like, stop playing like the innocent victim here.
You're a grown
like,
man.
or victim of circumstances, right? You knew what was going on.
Yes.
You know that we saved you because your career could have been over.
Right.
Not even not only your career, but your life. Like, people would have
Exactly.
definitely come after you really hard. So I am just totally annoyed by him and everything that he's doing right now.
Well, and you know, I think it started perfect title for episode 7, which was A House Divided, because we see how them Wise and Harlee finally tell the rest of the crew what was going on to an extent, that Harlee was actually the rat and it's not Wise, and they've been both trying to save everyone without impeding everyone else. It's kind of let everyone else dismantle as well, because we see at the end how Espada requests a transfer to another department. Tufo turns in his badge, and I'm just like, no,
like,
the whole
they're
time,
falling
like,
apart.
yes, and I guess too, this is what Bianchi may have wanted, and then this is what Wise and Harlee were trying so hard not to allow happen. So that was a kind of shocker towards the end of the episode.
Yeah, and I feel like with everything going on, it's a lot going on, and they're lost, and they know that they're in the dark about some things, but they were always a little okay with it, you know, until Loman dropped that bomb. You know, or it was like, oh, you're working with the FBI, and then Harlee has to jump in, and then once again she can't really tell the truth because she's still kind of protecting them, so she has to kind of embellish some things and omit some things, you know. So it is just.
Can we kind of lead in from episode 7 now, getting into tonight's episode 8? So the ice cream truck. What is the meaning of it? I keep thinking someone's going to shoot Wise. Someone's gonna jump out and attack him or get him or something. You just keep seeing it, and it's like, have you ever seen the movie It?
Yeah.
Where the balloons just keep popping up, and you're like, where is he?
And I feel like that. They have that eerie thing. They like with the music,
exactly.
And it's so eerie.
And they ride by so slow because they don't want to miss anybody.
Creeping.
Exactly.
Like, what's going on here? I don't know. That'll be revealed later too, but speaking of like how this week's episode opened,
right?
It opened with the aftermath of the shooting.
Yeah.
Because so last week, Bianchi and Waz and Harlee, they all wanted to meet up, and he wanted Julia there, you know, kind of as like a mediator, and then that all fell apart.
Exactly.
And now Bianchi is mad at Julia.
Because Stahl, I'm so glad Waz and Harlee seen Stahl there, because if so, that he really got it, and I kind of knew it's too close in the season for him to go down like that. But what I was surprised at was, who was this Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider chick just came in the studio popping guns out, like just shooting.
Listen, everybody.
Exactly. I feel bad saying luckily she died. That's really crude. But
I always feel bad to say that about but they're characters. Like, exactly. It's okay. They're not real people. Yeah.
Thanks for that. Yeah. But we see, like you said, going into tonight's episode 8, titled Unpaid Debts, we see she's the one that died, and Harlee's trying to get some information from her. Like, are you with Bianchi? Who was this for? Who was the intended title? Because at that time I was like, was this Bianchi? Or was this Stahl maybe even? Because the end game, as we see right now, both of them is Julia. So it was like, who was that from?
Yeah, same here. I was kind of like, okay, who did that? I didn't think Bianchi right away.
No, me
either. But then after, I'm like, oh, okay, well, now it makes sense. It's like, you don't want to make him mad. He's almost like, Waz, don't get on his bad side, because, well, he'll kill you. As simple as that. It's just, that's, no gray area there. But then, so we go into all of that, them still trying to get out of this issue with Bianchi and with Stahl. Right. So they're still going through all their demons to try to get, everyone free from everything. And I just we'll kind of like jump back and forth, but that just goes into Stahl trying to get Espada just as some leverage, because it's like Waz is still not playing the game that Stahl wants him to play. So it's like, okay, I need to take a big fish to kind of get you to come back, some bait. I need a big bait for you. And
the way that was set up was huge. All that weaponry in that bag, and what they were going to do, had they let Espada lead them to Tufo and what was going down, it could have been much bigger. They could have got 2 fish in one net.
Yeah.
But I was just glad that it was Espada, because Tufo's still on that fence.
That's true.
His trust has totally been broken, so he probably would have just went AWOL. Really.
That is true.
Espada held his own. He was still calm and collective about it, but he was worried. Like, okay, so you're still trying to think of a plan, which means you don't have anything.
Right. Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And you could see, the stress on him.
You could.
Yeah. Like, he almost wanted to cry. Like, don't you dare cry. You in jail, boy. Don't you dare cry.
Stand tall.
You cannot do that. But he had all those weapons and trying to help Tofu.
Right.
Tufo.
Oh,
right. There we go.
Again.
I was
there
like,
we go again. You're right.
Said that wrong. But trying to help him out, being a friend and being the brother to him, because Tufo's brother just got out of jail, and then I guess he was attacked. And so he's like, well, I need to, help my brother out. I need to get him out of this situation. I need you guys' help. You know, and at first Espada's like, well, you left the team. But it's a family, so he's still there for him, even though he's not a part of the precinct anymore. He's still going to help him out. And then so that would lead him to, like, all those guns and everything. But then Tufo isn't thinking. Let me just write two.
So I have to do that now too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tufo isn't really thinking, and he's just like trying to save his actual family, his blood family, but like not thinking of the trouble he can get himself into. And luckily, because like he went to attack like the drug dealer that attacked his brother. Luckily, Harlee and Tess were also after the drug dealer to try to get him, because it was a standoff.
It was. And it was about to go down.
Yeah, because they weren't letting go.
Not at all.
They were not putting their guns down.
Not at all.
That girl had an automatic. Like,
he said 19 rounds.
Right, you think we're scared of the police? It's like, oh.
I think Tufo, that one instance, or more so when they were at the car trying to get the car back, once Harlee made the deal with the drug dealer.
Yeah.
kind of opened up his heart, kind of dismantled a little bit of the hurt that he's in right now in that stage.
I could see that.
Because he still sees how, even though Harlee, he's mad, pissed at Harlee, but she still came. She still had his back. And she still, I'm sorry, pleaded her case again. But she was like, this is the best thing for you. And according to what you just did, you turned in your badge. So you're really not even a police officer at this moment. You know?
Could really go down right now.
Exactly. So I'm still here saving your butt, which has been my attention the whole time. So even though she was a rat, she's still proven time and time again her first priority has been the team.
The team. And she's like loyal to them.
Exactly.
No matter what. Even though the feds are after her, still no matter what, she's loyal to them.
Can we back up a little bit? Can we talk about the dream that she had when she seen her corpse and it wakes her up really quick? I wonder what that was a premonition of. Like, if it's not her, for someone, I'm getting way ahead of myself with premonitions. But that scared me. On the other side of that, though, I was so happy Nava came out of the bathroom.
I was like, because I'm like, who's in the shower? I got excited too.
I got your robe on. Okay.
Yeah. But I like them together too.
I do too.
Because
That's
I feel like
so
he may not really understand Harlee all the way, but he understands pieces of her. And I think with her right now, that's enough, you know, because she also isn't letting him see the whole her. You know?
Exactly. And he even asked, and she was just like, I'm not ready to reveal all that right now.
She was like, you don't want to know my nightmares.
So either he's okay now to a point where he's grieved his fiance's death, and he understands where the angle she was coming at during all of that, and so he wants to know too. I think they'll be a really great fit once they get this heat off of him.
True.
So we'll wait and see.
Because it's like, I don't think they're totally back on the same page or back where they used to be, but they'll work towards it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm glad we went back to that because I was excited about that.
I forgot. Get to that one good part because everything else is just intense.
It is just so much.
So can we go back to Loman for a second?
Yeah, I was just getting ready to kind of go there
with
the journalist, but so let's go to your point then.
Okay, because it'll lead into the journalist. So at first, when Tufo comes to Loman, asks for his help, he kind of agrees, but hesitantly, like he's trying to watch himself, trying to be God for say over the team now, even though he's known. Like Tufo told him, you are a grown man, you know what goes down, you know. So he's trying to be judge and jury at the same time. Tufo's like, look, you have my back or not. This is what's going on. I need your help. What's it gonna be? And I like that character of Tufo because it's just part of the team. It's part of how they operate. As crooked as they may be, that's how they operate. But I think between him and Tess, they starting to catch on to Loman. Yeah. And it goes into the end where he did the interview with Nate Wise's son. Tess knows something was off. Yeah. And you see Nate distraught at the information kind of settling in. Like, was he telling me the truth or was he just pissed? Like, I couldn't tell what's going on. But I was so angry at him. Like, you just told his son. And you just told vital information that if he happens to print this out, because, Loman doesn't know, but we know as viewers that they don't have a really good relationship. This could ruin everything, especially you.
And not only that, it's recorded.
Exactly.
Because he's a print journalist, so it's like, okay, I need to record this, while I'm doing this interview with you. It's on tape now. Everything that you said.
Everything.
And it's like, okay, they could dispute it, but then once you start connecting the dots, if someone gets that and compares it to everything that's going on, it will make sense.
Stahl. That's the person somewhere. He's going to pop up and start connecting those dots. Hear Loman give his son that interview and that information.
And he'll probably find out because we'll get into that. But he's going batshit next week. Crazy. Sorry. I don't even know what I was trying to say right there.
It was crazy. You're right.
Man, that is so he's going off the deep end next week. So we'll get into that. But yeah, like you said, so he's telling Nate his son, and they don't have like the best relationship. Right. But not only him giving him all of that information, he took out the picture again of Waz and the other dude.
I can't think of his name either.
I was like, and they kept saying it so many times this episode. I forgot again. But the other internal affairs officer. And so that I'm wondering if he took it out. So I think right now it's left up to us to decide if he actually did show him the picture and what that picture probably meant.
I think
or if he kept it to himself. But because he looked so distraught. Yes,
sorry, Donnie. Okay, yes.
Yeah, because he looked so distraught, but more so like that something was that it shocked him. Not that, not the stories, like, because those stories are shocking.
Right.
Like, okay, they've been killing people, and what, you burned the bodies, and all this stuff is going on, and all this corruptness, but to possibly learn your father was gay or is gay.
And I think Donnie could have been portrayed like as uncle to Neat at some point, because his wife knew about him.
True.
They knew they were close, but not to the level that his wife left for.
Right.
That they were intimate and actually had a relationship. So,
because the look for me, that was the look that I got. Like, you look distraught, you also look confused, and you look hurt.
Yeah.
So I believe he showed him that photo. So it's like, who knows what's gonna happen after that? And like you said, they don't have the best relationship, and then you show him some information like that. In the next episode, they do show a little teaser,
right,
where he's like, "Oh, guys, we have a problem." So did the tape get out of his hands, or
what's going on? Right.
It might be time to just, drop Loman.
And I'm with you on that one. Drop him, make him disappear.
However,
put him in the holding cell till at least all this Bianchi stuff is out of order. Because you just dropped that bomb on his son. You all technically are still trying to run and fight for your life. You don't know as deep as Harlee and Wise do.
Right.
But Bianchi's coming for you all.
Yeah,
he may be in Italy or wherever he is hiding out, but he has people, as we seen that Angelina Jolie wannabe chick come through. He has
all types of people too, right?
Exactly.
To kind of like throw you off. Like
Yes.
Julie said, well, he outsourced this time.
Exactly.
For her. Like, so he can kind of get you at any time with the person that you would least suspect is coming for you.
And that's while I was watching the show, it drew me a question, just thinking, like, so Tufo went to Loman, read him his rights, like, are you going to help me or not? This is my family. Apparently he is family, someone he can trust, because Espada was MIA. They didn't know why, but Espada wasn't there to help him head this out. So he was like, are you going to do this with me or not? Knowing that it's wrong, knowing that, number one, you could die, or number two, you could lose your badge for real because of what's going on. On the other side, Wise has been doing that since you've been under his care as a team. So I was wondering, like, what would Tufo see the difference in that? Team versus family. In this part, your family is your brother, yes. And the team is your work family. So you still protect and ride with each other in that manner. So what's the difference? Or are they one and the same?
Yeah.
That was one thing. I was like, I wonder if they'll reveal that to us about from the perspective of Tufo, because he kind of came at Loman like a Wise.
Yeah, he did. And I think it's one of those things where, kind of like with parents, you may get so upset with them about certain things that they do and the way that they treat you, but when it's flipped and you're in that position of the parent and you realize you do the things that, because like you learn by what you see, so and what was going on around you. So he may not even know or notice that he was treating him that way, or like doing things that Waz would do,
right?
But that's who he's been working with for so long and working under for so long, that he's gonna pick up some of his ways.
It's that a bit natural ability now at this point. Yeah,
like it's just gonna come out.
Exactly.
But I was gonna say something else about that, like Tufo and so Loman, he's just crazy. Like his hands are dirty too with everything, and just even with him deciding to have Tufo's back with this, that still makes you dirty. Like, even at the time, he didn't know that Tufo had turned in his badge.
Right.
But this is still, off the books work.
Yes.
This is still dirty.
Exactly.
So
didn't
once
call for
again,
backup,
right.
You didn't go get the warrant like
exactly.
you needed.
You didn't tell him, no, go find someone else.
Exactly.
So once again, you made a choice. You are making these choices to be a part of this family. It's just that sometimes you just want to throw a fit like a brat.
Yes.
When things possibly don't go your way, or they don't make sense and no one's really explaining.
Or you start
and
trying to make demands. Yeah. We're going to check and see what's in this trunk.
And now you want to be the leader. No, we're not.
Because that's only going to mess up your conscience. What if there is a dead body in here?
Exactly.
Then what? You're going to be crying about that for the next 3 episodes.
Now you want to find out exactly what happened. Exactly. What did they do? Who this person is?
We don't have time to hear that. Bigger fish are frying.
Right?
Exactly.
Oh, he works mine. So my last nerve.
But I was really surprised that he did actually go in and help Tufo. I really thought he was going to say no and be against everyone. I really thought he was just going to be MIA for real, because it's messing with him. It really is, and we see how it's playing out slowly but surely. It's just about to make him go crazy.
Yeah.
But I was surprised, and I was actually glad and happy, because that's someone still that Tufo can turn to, and is still part of their group and the team. So it's not totally dismantled. There is definitely trust that's broken.
Yes,
but it's not dismantled.
But I think it's trust that's broken, but there is still love that's there. You know what I mean? And I think Tufo, when they showed up at the drug dealers, when Tess and Harlee showed up, I think you can kind of see, you saw his face, like he was a little bit shocked and also a little bit relieved and happy at the same time,
because he knew those were the ones he could really trust and depend on.
It's like, I'm really taking my chances with you, with you all I have right now. And then saw them like, yes, all right,
and that goes back to the car part where they're trying to look for this cap for the car, and Harlee asked him, well, how's day one working out without your badge? And he's like, and she was like, so if you know how to put this cap on this car so we can get the engine to start running, then be my guest, but otherwise I'm here to help. And he was like, well, I'll go look for that cap then. Like,
I'll be back.
I thought that was part of his draw to reconsider, help him reconsider leaving. As far as Espada transfer, I was like, okay, he still wants his job. He just needs to go elsewhere to be by himself or just not be so entangled in it. But to me, when Tufo just said, here's my badge, I need time, because he may leave, retire, or whatever, that scared me. We need him. Or I need him as a viewer in the show.
I would say they need him because you don't want him to be away, be out of that element, and get a clear head. Because when you take yourself out of a situation, whether it's good, bad, toxic, whatever, you get clear eyes.
Exactly.
And you can kind of see things for what they really are. So, we don't really need him to stay away for too long.
Not at all.
Because then, he'll come back. Then he'll be on Loman's side. And we don't need that.
Not at all. Well, that's not going to be good for the
We don't need that at all. So let's talk about Stahl's crazy self.
Yeah, always.
And because I feel like tonight's episode kind of dropped the bomb. Like, he's legit crazy. He is a real psychopath.
I loved it though. Well, let me say, I love the end.
Oh, okay.
I love the end. I don't like, because I can't stand him. I just always love when he gets it to him, and Harlee is the one that does it. She's the perfect person to do it, and she's the only person that could put him in his spot.
The end was awesome. Let's talk about leading up to it.
Okay,
Waz and Harlee are trying to avoid Waz having to rat out, having to rat out Julia. But at this point, his back is against the wall because that's kind of the way that they may have to get a spot out. You may just have to do it, suck it up and do it. So they're trying to think of another way. So they meet with Molly, the Stahl's ex-partner, and they're trying to find out about Stahl's ex-wife and everything that's going on there, something like, what is his weak spot? How can we hit him? So what was really crazy to me was when Harlee showed up at they found, go talk to the ex-wife. Harlee shows up and pretends to be Harlee. Meaning, she said she was the girl in the video. And I was like, but I thought that was cute. I like that too.
Exactly.
That's weird and funny at the same time. But then so she finds out more information about Stahl. And that he was actually having an affair with his partner's wife. That's crazy.
That was deep. And he's the one that actually got him killed. And the wife says that on the tape. And I'm like, wow. Because
it totally
of his obsession. Yes. And what did they call him? Sadism, which I didn't know what it meant. So it just is the tendency to derive pleasure, especially sexual gratification from inflicting pain, suffering, or humiliation. His is kind of the suffering and humiliation. So I was like, oh, yes. Once I started hearing Harlee talk on that tape, though, I got so excited. I was like, yes, this is the ex-wife. They found her. She's not, she's in witness protection, but Molly helped her find her.
She found her,
So once he started hearing what was going on, and you just seen him, everything about him, the gloating, the arrogance, he thought he had it in the bag. You just seen it just leave his whole presence. And I love that as an actor, you see just how you go in and out of your character and emotions, but you just seen it leave him all. So I was like, oh yeah, he's got.
I tried to destroy it. You think Harlee's smarter than that? Come on now.
She is.
She's way smarter than that. She's like, I made more on the train. Come on.
Exactly.
I took the 6. I made more there. No, but so not only that, but that also just goes to show his obsession, because he was obsessed with his partner's wife as well. Keeping his partner undercover in a dangerous situation just so you can still have sex with his wife. And obsess over her. It really probably wasn't even the sex. It was just the obsession to have her in his possession. And that's crazy.
It is.
So basically you want to go after Julia to cover yourself.
Because you're trying to pin on the blame of your
put all
Robert
the blame on her.
Exactly.
Because what if it does come back? Yes, she's in the widow is in witness protection now. Okay, great. But maybe she'll talk like she did.
She was waiting. She said, I've been waiting for somebody to
She's
come.
like, I've been waiting for this. Harlee's like, so this is what you wanted to tell. Yes.
And I think it definitely goes back to what Harlee said earlier in the episode. I think she said it to Molly that Stahl doesn't feel like a man unless he's manipulating a woman. Mm-hmm. So yes, the wife did admit to the affair, but I wonder how he manipulated her. Hopefully we'll get to see that within the next few episodes, to have an affair with him and for that long. Yeah. And then also,
I'm just guessing because her husband was undercover, probably gone all the time, especially if it's like the mafia. You can't go home. You know Definitely. What I mean? You're at this point living like a whole nother life. So he probably preyed on that, like her loneliness.
Mm-hmm. In which he did not dismiss it when Harlee was cornering him. Oh, yeah. She was coming for him, hook and shoot, and she was just like, "Oh, I'm coming for you." Yeah. And you see the way that he just kept backing up in the corner, because he was defenseless at that time. Like he didn't have anything to say, which also was good too because it's indictable evidence. So if she actually turned this in, I think they have him by the balls. Yeah, excuse me to say right now, because this tape, and I'm sure hopefully she made more than just one copy. Yeah. Because I'm sure he's gonna steal it somehow or whatever. But that recording is his job, is his life. So they have an edge on him. They do. And because he's crazy, he's going to come up with something else. So, which again, I'm excited to see about and how they beat him again
at the same time.
Yeah, but he's stuck in the corner right now, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it because that arrogance and that gloated, I couldn't wait for them to beat it out of him. I was like, oh, get him, please.
I know that point, like when Harlee got right in his face, like just giving it to him. But that's crazy, though. You want to try to take someone else down. You're going through all these steps to get someone who's innocent too. Like let this lady run for mayor. Now I feel bad for Julia. Like she's just trying to run for mayor. She may be a little corrupt. All mayors are. Sorry, they are. Yeah. You know. You know what I mean? So hey, let her do a thing.
Right.
Like that's
and
crazy.
We see that she's actually the projected winner, as they said at the last show. So we'll see how that goes into play. And once she actually becomes officially the mayor, I believe Bianchi's gonna come back.
I was prediction. I'm sorry. I was gonna say let's just go into predictions because I think we got the show.
The show down. Okay. Yeah. So, my first one is that she's gonna actually become mayor, and then that's when Bianchi's gonna decide to come back. I don't know what their relationship is really, but I think he has something on her. He's gonna hang over her head, and I think it's gonna also circle back to some time when she was in the police station as chief, like Waz, and I think it's gonna again entangle that whole triangle of Waz, the team, Julia, and Bianchi. So I'm hoping we see that sometime before season finale.
Yeah, Bianchi is definitely gonna come back for her.
He is.
Okay, crazy boy. So Stahl, I think I don't think he's going to hurt Christina, because now we see a little peek that Harlee's going to find out that he has been talking to Christina and using her. And he is going so crazy over the fact that, like, yes, they've pinned him into the corner and he doesn't have a way out.
Exactly.
And he's just going to go crazy and force his way out of something. Like, he's getting shovels, he's smashing windows, and then there's a clip of him with Christina. I don't think he's going to harm her, but I think he may possibly maybe kidnap her or do something to kind of with Christina to hold over Harlee's head to get that revenge back. He wants revenge, and it's going to start somehow, some way with Christina.
Definitely. And I agree. That was my second premonition or prediction as well, too. Going back to Harlee's corpse. And I just was like, okay, they see it's her corpse she actually sees, but I don't think she's the one that's going to die. And then we see for the preview of next week's show that she says shots fired, officers down. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like which officer?
Who is it?
I can't afford to lose none of them.
No,
Loman. I forgot.
He can go.
Sorry, Loman, but you could. But yeah, the other ones I couldn't afford to use.
Yeah, no.
And then she also made a statement that she got her best friend in trouble. Trying to, protect her. And I think Stahl was part of that. Whatever happens to her best friend, we'll see next week.
I think do you think she was talking about Caddy?
Oh, I forgot all about Caddy.
Yeah. Because he was there in the dream.
Yeah. And she actually called him when she woke out of her.
Yeah, she was calling and he wasn't, he didn't answer.
And that's because he's strung out somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. Last time Stahl gave him those drugs.
Yeah. And he went back to re him up and he was ready. So, yeah. Forgot all about Caddy.
Yeah, it's probably him, maybe, or someone else. But I don't know, for them to introduce someone random right away, and that for it to be Harlee's best friend, just because of Harlee's personality, like she wouldn't have like a best friend we don't know about by now. I feel like I don't think the writers would do it that way.
At first, I was actually thinking whoever Christina was with, but she sent Christina with her sister.
With her sister,
so it wasn't. She said friends. So yeah, I forgot about Caddy. Yeah. Oh man, no. We need him too.
We do.
He's a drug addict, but we need him too. Yeah.
So I guess next week
we'll see. Like they said, a marathon of misjudgment. So that happened definitely.
A marathon.
A marathon. That's what it was. A marathon of misjudgments. We'll see what goes on next week.
Yeah, a lot is gonna go on. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. Like we have 5 more episodes before season finale. I don't know if I'm gonna cry or have a party.
The season finale, I think I'm just gonna be like
for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that's how that's
gonna be a cliffhanger.
It's gonna be no words.
Yes,
just like
it's gonna be a cliffhanger.
It definitely is. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. And yes, I can't wait till next week. Yes. I hope you guys feel the same way. And tune in for us next week. You can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Lynneisha_33.
Again, you can be social with me at Taquiala_I am.
All right, see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.